Hi, I've got something a little bit different for you today. On, what day was it? Wednesday night I went over to the Hob Salon in Hale to be introduced to the new Dyson Supersonic Hair Drier as part of the Boots review panel. I'm really excited about it. So, here it is. I had my hair blow dried with the dryer on Wednesday night. My first impressions were that it was pretty quiet. It wasn't as quick as I expected it to be, but I think that's partly because the girl doing my hair was doing a really faffy blow dry. So what I'm going to do today is wash my hair, and I'm going to pit the new Dyson Supersonic against my trusty Parlux. I'm going to do a half and half job for you. I realise it's not completely scientific because one half's going to have had, you know, a little bit longer to dry or whatever, but I think it'll give us an idea of how things are. So the new Dyson Supersonic promises all sorts of amazing things. It uses the same air multiplier technology as the Dyson bladeless fan thing. So it says the volume of the air drawn in is amplified by 3 times, producing high pressure, high velocity jet of air. Sounds quite dangerous, but clearly it's not. Hopefully it's just going to dry my hair really quickly. Basically there's all sorts of stuff on here, and I'll put all of that into my proper blog review, because really what I want to show you today is just, does it work? This is inside the box. So you've got a diffuser, 2 nozzles, a foldy out mat for laying it down on, and then the hairdryer itself. Check this out, right? Oh, it's magnetic. Love it. So satisfying. It's really comfortable to hold. It doesn't feel too heavy. Yeah, actually, when you compare it to the Parlux, yeah, this feels tiny. It feels like a little travel hairdryer. You kind of can't imagine that it's going to do any good, really, being so small. One of the things that I really like, look at the back of this, full of hair and dust. That's not happening with the Dyson Supersonic, is it? None of that burnt hair smell going on there. So we're going to do one half with this, and we're going to do one half with this, which has been my trusty salon standard Parlux hairdryer that I've used for, I don't know, a few years now. When I bought it, it felt really expensive, but I'm sure I spent like, I don't know, 80 quid on it, and it felt like an absolute fortune because before that I'd only spent £30 on a hairdryer. This is in a different league when it comes to price, so it's got quite a lot to live up to. I'm going to go wash my hair, and then I'll be back with you. Okay, so I've washed my hair. I've left it to dry for a little while because if I dried it from fresh out of the shower I'd be here for days. I've got a lot of hair. I'm going to dry this half with the Parlux and this half with the Dyson. The main reason for that being that actually Parlux does have a longer cable, only slightly. It's a salon standard length cable. I was a bit surprised actually that the Dyson cable wasn't quite as long. I'm going to just dry my hair the way I do normally. I'm going to set a timer. I'll fast forward it all for you because it's going to be really boring otherwise. And we'll just see what the comparison is time-wise, and then I'll talk through what I think the differences were with the 2 dryers at the end. So, we'll start the timer and we'll dry. Okay, that was 3 minutes 22 seconds on that side of my hair. And we're going to go with the Dyson. I don't know how to turn it. Oh no! Gosh! Did 3 minutes 22 seconds on this side using the Parlux and 2 minutes 52 on that side. So in theory it was like 30 seconds faster, which was quite a big quite a big difference. It was a really weird drying experience. I picked it up and it feels really light in comparison to the Parlux. Having done one side with that, my arm was already starting to really ache. I was really surprised when I turned it on by the difference in volume. I'm going to show you that again. Okay, Parlux, Dyson. It's like, I don't know, it's mad. It's a thing of beauty. So on the back, it turns on here. It sucks the air in through here rather than through here. When you put your hand here, there's nothing going on. It's all from down there. What's that? Oh, that's the cool shot button on the back. There's a heat button. Let me just turn it on so you can see those. You can see the LEDs there. And then the fan. Obviously using my Parlux, I'm quite used to having the buttons on the side. They're really easy to get to, you know, while you're drying. I imagine that I'm not really going to change those sort of in the middle of drying. I think I'm going to have to take it away and faff about with them. Although if I'm honest, I generally keep it on full whack because, as you've seen, I have got quite a lot of hair. So the Dyson Supersonic is really, really light. And when you pick it up and first turn it on, particularly having just used the Parlux, which I know is really heavy and quite substantial, salon strength, I suppose, the Dyson feels really pathetic. It feels very small and very light, and it just doesn't feel like it has any oomph. And then you dry your hair really quickly, and then you realise that maybe there is something to it after all. This is an expensive bit of kit, this Dyson hair dryer. It retails at about £300, which, you know, it's a lot of money for a hair dryer, but for somebody who really hates drying their hair, if it's going to be saving me minutes at a time every time I dry my hair, then maybe it's worth the investment. So for me, the big selling points are it's small, it's light, it's quick, and it's not noisy. The downsides, it just doesn't feel like it's going to be really effective, but I think that's something that I've just got to get used to because it clearly is. But yeah, the biggest downside is, you know, £300 on a hair dryer. I don't know.